Let him cook. Let him cook now. Let him cook. I said let him.
What up, YouTube? It's your boy Chef F, but y'all know the only thing I'm cooking up is my opinion. I appreciate y'all for being here with me in this video. If you enjoy the content, you already know what to do. If you want to donate to the channel, Cash App is Chef F with 3 Fs. Link on the screen or in the description below. And remember, I am not a hip-hop journalist, a hip-hop historian, or a lyrical miracle specialist. I just give my take on things I'm tapped into. And I hope you all are having a good and blessed day. Alright, so in this video, we're going to get into DJ Akademiks declares war on old media. So again, I said in my last video that I may react to this. So I'm going to watch it, see what it's talking about, you know what I'm saying? I feel like, for the most part, I'm so glad I kind of got that spill where it's like, oh, I'm not a journalist, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm really not. As y'all can see, I just give my take. You know what I'm saying? I may do a little deep dive here and there, but that's really just to gain context. So yeah, so I feel like it's important to say that, but yeah, we're going to see what it's time. All right, so this video come courtesy of J Roebuck. Make sure y'all go like and subscribe to his channel if you're not already. Without further ado, let's get to it. Oh my God, why do I always do this?
Is everybody all right? Like, are y'all cool? Because hip hop media was on one last night. I know everybody's talking about the rappers who like the beef. I know everybody's talking about the streamers who like drama. But hip hop journalists, I don't even know if I should use the word journalist or journalism because of the way things are going right now. But hip hop media, right? Media has been on one. You got Ray Daniels, you got Charlemagne, you got Wayno, you got Rob Markman, you got Akademiks, and you got the YouTubers. You got the social media speakers and social media journalists, social media creators chiming in and giving their 2 cents. So,
yo, shout out to the YouTubers, man. Shout out to the social media journalists, and man, shout out to y'all, man. We out here working, man. Like I said, it's funny because yeah, that journalist word is getting brought up right now. You know what I'm saying? I don't even think I know the technical definition of a journalist. I just know that I ain't one and I ain't trying to be one. I just give my opinion. You know what I'm saying? It really, most of the time, most of the stuff ain't that deep, but I do like to have an opinion, have a take, look into some things here and there, but none of this stuff like affect me in my real life, you know what I'm saying, my day-to-day. Y'all let me know if it does for y'all, so, yeah, that word right now is it's the word right now.
I'm gonna give mine. Let's get into the clip first because the fireworks are flying. But before I do that, like, comment, subscribe. Please hit the hype button. Let's get into that action. Now, let's start off with this. DJ Akademiks, after making the connections with all of the stake lawsuits, the Drake stuff, the Desiree Perez, Rock Nation accusations or alleged paper trail, he called out hip hop media. He said, why is no one reporting on this? Where are all the journalists? Why do they have nothing to say? And he named people by name. And one of those names was Rob Markman. Now, Rob Markman had something to say and he fired off his response. Let's watch it.
Akademiks, hip-hop's shining beacon of truth, justice, and fairness has come forth to you all with proof, right? And now he's calling on hip-hop journalists. Again, Lauren LaRosa, the amazing Lauren LaRosa, the tenured Mark Lamont Hill.
All right, brother. Come on. Get to the story. Come on.
And myself to validate his findings.
So we already started off on the wrong foot. Akademiks was asking why no one is reporting on the story. Now, when Drake was in this paperwork and when Akademiks was in this paperwork, a lot of hip hop media and a lot of social media had things to say. They rushed to the conclusion and really said guilty. They said it's finally Drake is going to be exposed, right? Drake is throwing rocks and hiding his hand. This is Drake's karma for suing the label in regards to the battle. That's what a lot of people had to say. But when the dismissals came down, Rob did do a video on it. A couple other people did make some mention of it, but nowhere near the splash that happened once the lawsuits started going. And it's not just the lawsuits. They want to talk about where is it coming from and is it potentially a targeted attack at Drake and DJ Akademiks and George, or Akademiks TV, all of that stuff. So what Akademiks is asking isn't validate what I found or validate what's the dirt found or validate what D-Fran found. What he's saying is, why are you not reporting on it at all? This is a huge story with the biggest rapper in hip hop and no one wants to talk about it. I already know the comment, Drake is not the biggest rapper. All right, whatever. One of the biggest rappers in
I mean, why is people not reporting on it? I thought everybody kind of was. I mean, I've been seeing hella videos about all this, so I'm not sure who those people are that's not reporting on it right now. I don't, and dismissals. I'm not sure what Jay is talking about when he said the dismissals, and maybe that's one of the lawsuits that's got dismissed. I know one of those got dismissed. If y'all seen my other video, Academics did say one of the cases got dismissed or something. So I'm not sure if that's what he's talking about, but yeah, I'm not sure who those people that's not reporting on it now versus the people that was reporting on the lawsuits when they first got initiated against Drake and State. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know who those people are, but like I say, I always try to be fair and unbiased, so I ain't got a horse in the race or whatever. It is what it is to me. But I mean, was Rob one of those people? I mean, it seemed like he about to, I guess he about to respond to Academics saying why he didn't report on it. Well, because there's nothing really to report. Like the only thing that Academics is bringing up is, hey, who's behind pulling the strings? Who's sending these lawsuits? But it's like it's nothing that you could really report. It's just things that when you look deep, you have to look deeply into, and then you could kind of and then from there you could kind of like formulate an opinion, or you could maybe say, okay, yeah, that looks suspicious. But if somebody is looking at something and they come up with the conclusion that, yeah, it looks suspicious or it looks weird or strange, is that reporting on it? Like, I don't know. That's not, to me, that's not like reporting on something. That's maybe now maybe Academics is saying like, why y'all not giving y'all take about this? How it looked like Jay-Z and Rock Nation may be behind some of these lawsuits. And it's like, well, you can't get mad at them for that. Like, or I guess if you're trying to make it seem like that person is one-sided, okay, well, nigga, you're one-sided too. So if they want to be one-sided, then they could be one-sided. Nigga, you be trying to be one-sided most of the time. So you can't really get at nobody for that. And you can't say, oh, why you report on it? Because there ain't really nothing to report. It's just basically y'all are saying that it looks strange that Jay-Z and Rock Nation is trying to like send these lawsuits, but y'all ain't really got no evidence or facts, nothing direct. So it ain't really nothing to report, technically.
Hip hop being sued, and now the lawsuits are being thrown out, and it could potentially be trailed back to another entity. And a bunch of these people didn't even have stake, and they claim they knew about this illegal botting scheme. Why is no one mentioning that? That's what Academics said. He didn't tell you to validate his feelings. But let's keep going.
The guy who takes money from record labels to shape narratives. I'm not making that up. He told you he was paid $30,000 from Lil Baby's team to just chill on the album.
This is a fact. He was paid to not talk bad about Lil Baby, but what does it have to do with anything?
To not go crazy on the album. He told you this. This ain't even about me, right? It is about you. This is about y'all who watching. This is about y'all. The guy who lies to you, who will come up with the nastiest takes, who will hire clippers to spread it across the internet to manipulate whatever he wants you to believe. The guy who doesn't present an ounce of objectivity. The guy who created Akademiks TV and lets that account do his dirty work, dropping the most vile, nasty.
I get what he's saying. Him and Academics don't get along. And a lot of people, and we're going to get to this later in the video when we talk about traditional hip-hop journalism versus new age hip-hop journalism. We're going to get to this and why he feels this way. But this is not the point. Get to the point of why have y'all not followed the story as closely? You're talking about why you don't like him as a person and why you don't like his style and approach, but you're not answering the question.
These shit just actively attacking folks.
I mean, he hasn't answered the question yet, but I mean, if the question is why isn't he reporting on it, how can Academics even ask that question when first I thought reporting was actually reporting something that's actually happened or that factually happened or something that's been factually proved. they haven't proved a damn thing. Like, they haven't proved that Jay-Z is the one and Roc Nation is the one funding these lawsuits allegedly against Drake and Steak and Ack and Aiden. They haven't proved that shit. So all they've done is done deep dives, aka What's the Dirt doing whatever he does to and I'm not saying that's not good, that's great. Like, you could do that. But all they've done is get a lot of things that would make it look like Jay-Z and Roc Nation is behind this. Now, if somebody want to go give their take or their opinion, that's not reporting on it. And they don't, just because it's a big topic doesn't mean that that person have to. Now, okay, maybe Drake, when Drake first got sued by all these, or when Drake and Steak first got sued by all these people, okay, that was a big topic, and you gave your take and your opinion on that, or you reported on that. But for one, that's something that actually happened. That's a fact. Like, yes, lawsuits were filed against Drake and Steak. That's a fact. So you could report on that, but you can't report on conspiracies that make it look like something is going down. Even if that is the case with Roc Nation and Drake, even if they are funding these things, you can't report on something that hasn't been factually proven. Y'all let me know if I'm wrong in the comments. I could be wrong on that, but from my understanding, I thought that's what report meant. Now, if Akademiks is saying, why you give your take on this like you did with Drake when he first got sued? Okay, I can understand that, you feel me? But what if he wants to be one-sided? You can't say anything about that neither, because you're always one-sided too as well.
Guys saying, okay, where's the journalism now? Hey, we need the facts here now. Now the facts are on point. But it's not about facts, and it's never been about facts. It's about what story he can tell that benefits him and diminishes anyone who he believes is opposed to him.
No, but okay.
Did that remind you of someone? His Uncle Trump? Seriously, he calls him Uncle Trump. He's called him Uncle Trump. Feels like right out of that playbook, right? And his tweet, I mean, it wasn't serious. It's not about him wanting me or Lauren or Mark to report on whatever it is he's talking about right now, right? He don't need me for that. He don't need Lauren.
So what are we talking about then?
For that. He don't need Mark for that. He has a bunch of clippers that he pays to do that. These days, the game isn't about the truth. Sadly. It's about if you can get the internet. And when I say the internet, if it ain't real people.
Yeah, he's just not getting to the point. And the game has been the game. Before it was the internet, it's can you get a publication to print a story? It's the same tactics. It's just a different medium. That's all it is. Well, Akademiks saw this clip and he had a lot to say. And let's say he didn't say it as nicely or as calm as Rob just spoke. Let's hear what Akademiks' response to this video was.
I don't respect y'all. I really called on y'all on some facetious shit. I don't respect none of y'all niggas. Y'all niggas on some journalism shit. Let me tell you where the journalism come in when it comes to y'all niggas. Nigga, you just a writer, nigga. Like, yeah, you listen to hip hop and you from the culture, this and third. But nigga, when I think about journalism, I think about investigative shit. No.
Okay, now let's look. Rob Markman is extremely accomplished when it comes to hip hop, when it comes to journalism, when it comes to what he did at Genius, when it comes to work he did on traditional print publications. Rob Markman has put in work. All right, a lot of things that you see digitally, he started when it comes to print. But Ack doesn't care about that. He's going to fire on him because he's going to let him know how he feels, because it's bigger than just this one issue. But now we're going to get into some semantics, some specifics. You have to talk about what certain words mean. Now, Ack says, yes, I can consider you a.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, okay, like, what does journalism even technically mean? Because I know I'm not trying to be that, so I don't look it up. But okay, I mean, if you're trying to say if Rob Markman is technically a journalist, right? I don't know if you need a certain like certification or like degree or something to be considered that, or to have that title. I don't know, and I really don't care, but I guess we're gonna get into it. But if he is a journalist, right, and you're talking about why he hasn't reported on this, don't you have to actually report on something that's like factual? Now, you could say, okay, these companies are tied to Roc Nation and Jay-Z because they've invested in things before together or whatever. Okay, that may be factual, But that doesn't mean that the fact is Roc Nation and Jay-Z is behind these lawsuits. All that means is that it may look strange to the average person. That's it. That's not nothing to report because that's not nothing factual. That's just someone's opinion. It may look strange. It may not look strange to some people.
Journalism, but when I think about journalism, I think about investigative journalism.
None of y'all do that. Definitely not you. You the genius nigga. You don't do that. Lauren LaRose is I called for a statement. She don't do that. And anybody else I mentioned, I basically told y'all, all three of y'all niggas to eat a dick. You know why? Because the real journalists these days that put the work in is the YouTubers, nigga. They put the work in. I've always said, you know why I came up in hip-hop? I came up in hip-hop shitting on niggas who wrote. The journalists who wrote for Hot New Hip Hop, all these other bum-ass sites. I shitted on them because I would download I figured out.
All right. Now we're getting to the root of the issue. Now we're going to talk some real stuff. We're going to get to the facts now. The issue is the old version versus the new version. Acts that I came up in the game, I started downloading things. I started to do deep dives. The real people who are doing the work are on YouTube. Yes, I believe that. Because right now, what has happened is when it used to be print media, Double XL, The Source, Vibe Magazine, there's a barrier of entry. You had to know someone to get a job, or you could, freelance, or you could be hired, or you could intern, and then you would get that corporation behind you that says, yes, trust his words. He's with us. But the internet takes over. And when the internet takes over, all of that changes because the internet breaks the barrier. Upload your video. Let the people choose who they want to listen to. Let the people choose what stories they're interested in. And when that shift happened, a lot of the people who were the corporate figures, the corporate writers, they worked for these publications that have now gone out of business or are now nothing because their digital footprint isn't that big, were left behind. And now what do you see them do? They go and pick up a YouTube channel. They start an Instagram. They start a podcast. And now they're playing catch up in an area where Akademiks started over a decade ago with the war in Chirac. Or they're going somewhere with Joe Budden, where Rory, where Maul were, early pioneers, even Rosenberg. Early pioneer into the digital and internet landscape. But the traditional people don't like that because it challenges everything that they believed. A lot of you here talk about what degree a person has. Listen, I'm always in favor of education. I got 3 degrees. Education gives you qualification. It shows a certain level of dedication. It shows a certain level of expertise, but it doesn't mean you're smarter than someone. It's a bonus. You could be more well-studied. You could be more well-versed, but particularly when we're talking about the journalism that hip hop media does, and I'm going to include myself. I'm not a journalist. I will never consider myself one. I create content and I do journalistic work. You can engage in journalism without being a traditional journalist. And I think that's where the separation is. And a lot of people are arguing, oh, well, this person went to school and they have a journalism degree. That doesn't make them a better journalist than someone. Certainly not a better creative journalist, because look at the numbers. The numbers tell you who the people are going to. Not no complex rating. You look at views, you look at clicks, you look at subscribers, you look at engagement. That's telling you the story.
Let's
Okay, so well, like I said, I'm not looking that shit up, and like I said, I always say I ain't no damn journalist, so I really don't care. You feel me? But I mean, so if you don't need a degree to technically be considered a journalist, if you don't need a degree for that, then why do they even? So that means anybody could call themselves that, right? So does Rob Markman consider himself a journalist? Like, I don't know. I guess that's the argument here. I thought the argument was, why are you not basically touching on this thing that looks strange about Roc Nation and Drake? I mean, Roc Nation and Jay-Z, when you was touching on the things that made Drake look bad. That's what I'm getting from Akademiks, but I mean, let's see.
get the indictment. Let me go read 700 pages. Let me go read 10 different things. All y'all did is repost. All y'all do is repost shit. So when I hear y'all talk about shit, even
okay, so again, if Rob considers himself a journalist and Akademiks considers himself a journalist, that still don't give you no right to get mad at the nigga because he don't want a journalist about something you want a journalist about. Like, it just seemed like he's like, when I was a journalist, when I came up, I told you everything. I went and read everything. It's like, okay, nigga, good for you. Hip hip hooray, nigga. Like, that don't mean he gotta go do it. Like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know.
You don't even know the case. You like stumbling, fumbling, looking at your notes. You don't even know what you're talking about. How you the journalist and you have zero idea? I talk about the case not only because I'm sued. I talk about the case fluently because I know it back and front.
Now, in this specific case, if you're talking about this case, do I expect them to do a full deep dive on it? No, I don't. First of all, the allegation within it, I don't know if they want to investigate that, because if they do come up with this finding, let's say Drake is being targeted by XY corporation or person, do they want to be the ones to report that? Likely not. We all have biases. Some of us are more outward with it, like DJ Academics, so you know where his loyalty and where his bias lie. Some other media members we don't know. We found out recently, but they're not going to look into that story. No matter what happens, if you're looking for a fair shake for DJ Academics or for Drake from traditional media, it's never going to happen. So I don't even expect it. When I got on the internet, I used to call out these people often, and I stopped doing it as much because I realized there's never going to be a fair shake. There's no meritocracy when it comes to this.
Oh, y'all journalists. Is it because I pop shit and I could talk shit with the best of them? I'm not no journalist.
I mean, Jay kind of just answered the question. I mean, that's basically what this is. Like, even if we consider reporting, I guess, touching on something that may just be an allegation or accusation, Rob not reporting on it, it still doesn't give you the right to question him, Academics, like, because you do the same shit. Like, if there's something that you don't want to touch on, you talking about you go over everything, you know, but you go over things and you be leaving certain things out too as well. Or you'll probably bring something up, but it's not in the exact way it should be brought up, and then you'll go and paint your own narrative. So it's like, you kind of blaming him for the same thing. And it's like, nigga, you do the same shit. So how can you even say that?
Nigga, I know more than you niggas about all this shit.
What's the definition of journalism? Let's look it up. So let's read here about journalism. Journalism is the work of finding, checking, and sharing news and facts with the public. Journalism is a production and distribution of reports on events, facts, ideas, and people that constitute the news of the day and inform society. Now, let me ask you this question. Do you need to have a journalism degree to do that? The answer is no, especially when the internet is available and you can find information. Not only can you find information, you can find facts. With the internet, you can also disseminate the information to people, to an audience, and people who care about the news of the day. Now, you can be a great journalist.
Okay, so do we consider these allegations about about Jay-Z and Roc Nation allegedly being behind the lawsuits against Drake and State? Do we consider those allegations as news or ideas? Is that something you have to report on? I don't know. Y'all let me know. I don't think it's something you have to report on. It's just something that's kind of big in the media right now. So people is just kind of touching on it. So I don't know if Rob touched on it or not, but he probably didn't. And that's probably why Academics is so mad. But it's like, bro, Academics, bro. For it coming from you is really like the thing. Like, who are you to say that? Like, you do the same thing with your biases. So if Rob is doing that with his bias, nigga, you do the same shit. Like, so I really don't understand. Now, if it got proven that Jay-Z, then it'll be like, oh, okay, it do look a little odd, you know what I'm saying? You was getting on Drake when he got, okay, I will give you that. But this is just allegations. You don't really have to report on allegations, in my opinion.
Or you can be a poor journalist, but you can still engage in the act of journalism without a degree. So when Academics is talking about this, he's saying, I'm better than you at this job. And he has every right to feel that way. Whether you like him as a person, he says some things that I don't agree with at all. He's made some endorsements that I don't agree with at all. He's done some foul things to people I know that I don't agree with at all. But if I'm just talking about, is this guy good at what he does? There's only 3 other people in his lane. It's him, Joe Budden, and Charlemagne. Those are the 3 major dominant forces when it comes to new age hip-hop media. It's those 3, whether you like them or hate them. And I know our audience is, everyone in the comments is going to be split. I like this guy, I don't like this guy. Those are the 3 most dominant figures, and they're there for a reason. It's the way they engage the audience. It's the entertainment factor. It's the news factor. It's the relationship factor. That's why those guys are there.
You niggas do no research. You don't do no work. That's my problem. Lord.
Man, this nigga academics, yeah. This nigga just be talking shit. Nigga, you do the same shit with anything when it comes to Kendrick, nigga. You will go paint the whole picture about what Dre did, but you won't go into any details about Kendrick. So you do the same shit. You won't go do a deep dive on anything if it has something to do with Kendrick unless it's Drake trying to like paint a picture. Like you didn't say anything about when Kendrick wasn't actually like when none of his music was like being bodied and stuff like that. Like you didn't go into any of those details or research or analytics. Like, but when it came to like I don't know, like the allegations about Kendrick hitting his wife when Drake drops his, you tried to go into all of that. So it's like, bro, you do the same thing. I don't know. That's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Academics is just blaming Rob for the same shit that he does. And we don't even know if Rob is actually doing that. Well, I don't know. I really don't know. So, y'all let me know how y'all feel, though, man. Make sure y'all go check out the rest of that video on J Roebuck channel. Make sure y'all like and subscribe to his channel, too, as well. And, yeah, man. Y'all let me know how y'all feel in the comments, man. If y'all enjoy the content, you already know what to do. If y'all want to donate to the channel, y'all know where the link's at. It is your boy Chef Yef. I will see y'all on the next one, and I'm